Yo, what up, y'all? Y'all know who this is, man. This is your man, Woo the House Cat, hanging out with Bill Staxx, the Bill Staxx podcast. You heard? Check them out.
Welcome to this episode of Chattin with Staxx. I'm your host, Bill Staxx, and today I got Woo from.
Well, here's the funny part. I didn't know really what a one percenter was. I knew what I was, how I had always felt in my heart, especially from the street days, from doing. I mean, I know what I am, but I didn't know what a one percenter was at that point. I just know I love the way that cut looked. I just know that their patches are different than ours. And I know you said stay away from them, right? Those three things, my ears went up like a German Shepherd. I got to find out what this is about. So, again, I didn't know what being an outlaw technically was. I didn't in the motorcycle world. And I got on Facebook and I started to research members of that particular club. Now, I didn't know anybody in that club, zero people. But I searched and searched and searched until I knew the name of the club, until I found a member. And I hit up a member in that club, and nobody responded for a long time. And the person finally responded, and he wasn't nice. And he said, "Who are you?" And I explained it. And he said, "What do you want?" And I explained it. And I didn't hear from him for a minute. And then I heard from him again, and he said, "I'm going to put you in contact with somebody in New York City."
Did you come out and say, "I want to join this club," or did you?
No. I don't. I think I'm. I think I said I'm. I don't really remember exactly. I think I said I'm interested in finding out more about your club. I never came out and said I wanted to join. I think I said I'm interested in learning more about your club. And he didn't respond for a long time. And he put me in contact with, not New York, he put me in contact with somebody in another state. And that person didn't call me for a while. They called me eventually. We talked, and for a long time, I wouldn't hear from the guy. And then he called me and we talked, and that went on for a minute. And eventually he put me in contact with someone in New York City. And when they called me, they had me meet them at an event in Brooklyn. It was a ride out for a person that had passed away, a biker that died. And here I am pulling up on my sport bike like a happy puppy. And and I remember when I saw them, they didn't acknowledge me. I guess the guy that I was talking to, I saw the guy and I said, "I'm so and so looking for you guys," and he said, "All right," and that was all he said to me. Now, mind you, I'm coming from a '99, thinking that the way the '99 does things is the way all motorcycle clubs do things. Boy, was I wrong. So the entire night, they didn't speak to me, or the entire afternoon. They didn't speak to me. I stood on a wall with my foot on the wall by myself while they did their thing. And I just stood there. Nobody said anything to me. I didn't say anything to them. It was really uncomfortable. And I kind of remember it was time for the ride out to take place. And the guy that I had was there to, meet the contact person, kind of gave me the signal to, get on the bike, let's go. And they pulled off. Everybody pulled off. I got on my bike and I stayed behind. He told me, "Don't pass this guy here." And I said, "Okay." And the last bike, I followed him and it broke down. And as it broke down, the pack took off. Like everybody left, and this member was by himself. And I said to him, "I'm going to hang out with you until one of your peoples comes to pick you up. I'm not going to leave you here by yourself." So I stayed with him. Tow truck came, and that was nighttime. We went to his house, and we stayed out in front of his house probably 1 in the morning, talking. This is from 1 in the afternoon to 1 in the morning, talking, and I got to know him. And long story short, that's how it began. I began to prospect for a diamond club.
And that's a wild story. So you stay behind just to
Yeah.
like I'm not gonna leave you by yourself. And
I'm not gonna leave you by yourself, bro. Because I'm that kind of person, man. I come from the streets. If I'm with you, if I'm with you, and we go out and you get into an altercation, I'm not gonna leave you standing there. I'm gonna throw hands with you. Me and you gonna fight. And I just met you. I'm with you. Somebody comes and starts some shit with you. What's good? We gonna get into it with the other people.
A lot of other people would be like, "You're on your own, pal."
Nah, brother. I'm not like that, brother. You don't. Nah, I don't come from that era. I come from a different era. I have a huge tattoo down my arm that says loyalty. You probably can't read it, but it says
No,
loyalty.
that's it.
I yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't. I'm not that kind of guy, bro. So he was left by himself, all alone, while everybody in Brooklyn left. It was an empty street, cars, regular civilians. And I said, bro, I'm not going to leave you. I'm going to stay with you till the tow truck comes and make sure you get home. And I guess he appreciated that. And I stayed the whole night until we just started talking and bullshitting and laughing. And that went on till 1 o'clock in the morning. And again, I guess me doing that, uh, you know, gave me some brownie points where they asked me to prospect about 3 weeks later or a month later. They asked me to
Now,
prospect.
was it a lot different experience prospecting for this club than the first?
Absolutely. 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 Going from a 99 to an outlaw club, again, and I'm only speaking for myself, going from a 99, you think the rules are the same. Like I'm running around in sneakers and a cut. You can't do that in outlaw community. Now, yes, there are some clubs that allow that. Absolutely. There's some outlaw clubs that you can wear sneakers and a cut. But for the most part, you have to wear uniform, black boots or whatever the color boots are your club decides. Typically they're black or beige. Jeans, black jeans, dark blue jeans. You can't wear white uptowns and be an outlaw. That's
Now,
not gonna work.
do they ride street bikes or do they ride Harleys like
Cool.
the club that you were
The
involved
first
with?
or second one? The
The
first
second
one
one.
was the second one is no. They're strictly they're Outlook Club. They're Diamond Club. They strictly rode American made bikes. So there was
I
a
mean, you know,
victory.
some of them are different. Some of them are
No, no,
changing
no,
up.
no, 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 no. That stuff didn't come till later. That stuff that to my knowledge, that stuff just came about in the past couple of years.
Yeah.
Uh, Outlaw clubs have always rode American as long as I've known about them. And I've done my homework on outlaw clubs. They've always rode American. Indian, Victory, when Victory was around, and Harlem. And whatever other Triumph I think was made in England or Britain. You rode American. You rode American. So
At this time though, you know all this stuff or no?
no, no, didn't know anything. I was green. I was a puppy. In fact,
They tell you sell a bike, right?
yeah, yeah.
Sell a bike first thing.
They made sure they told me, you can't ride this. They didn't. They said, you can't ride this fucking thing and patch over, right? You can't ride this fucking thing and patch over, right? And I said, no problem. I promise I'll get an American made. I got you. So eventually, I got off my R1 and I bought my first Harley. I bought my first Softail Deluxe. It was my first Harley. Yeah.
And are you happy that you went that way and transferred over?
I I'll forever be grateful for my first club, but I'm even more grateful for my second club because my second club really allowed me to see who I was as a person. Right? I finally found a place, and I think I said this on a Facebook post. I finally found a place where I fit in. I finally found a place with like-minded individuals that think like me, that move like me, that act like me. It's like a wolf being raised by sheep. And I don't mean this in any disrespect towards anybody, but it's like a wolf being raised by sheep, and you feel like you don't fit in. You don't look like a sheep, you don't move like a sheep. You bark, they go back. You don't feel like one of them, but you're with them. This is. And then when you get around a pack of wolves and they start barking and you're barking and they're wagging their tail and you're wagging your tail and they're wrestling around playing and you get to wrestle around playing too, you say, holy shit, I feel like I'm home. I found my home. These are my people. And that's how I felt when I joined my Force Outlaw Club.
Now, when you finally get your patch, walk me through that feeling and that day that you finally get handed your patch.
From the Outlaw Club? Well, I got my patch from the Outlaw Club, without getting into too much detail. I got my patch from my Outlaw Club the unorthodox way. It got handed to me uh, in the streets in a back alley in Brooklyn, which is the unorthodox way. And I don't really want to give too much. There's a story behind why that was that I don't want to get into. But I got my patches handed to me in the dark on the steps by a member who didn't want to give me my patches in Brooklyn. And when I got those patches, I was confused. Like, why is it going down? I was angry. Why is it going down like this? Because I witnessed how other people got theirs, and I wasn't getting that same treatment.
Like in
But I
front of
was,
everybody and
yeah, yeah,
everyone's
yeah, yeah, yeah,
clapping. And
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But I got them again that way. So after that feeling subsided, I was excited that I got them. I was excited that I got to put that patch on. Right. So
Now,
that's how that worked.
do you feel like people treated you different once you had a 1% cutoff?
They absolutely treat you different. When you put a diamond on your chest, they look at you differently. Because there's a stigma attached to being an outlaw biker, right? There's a stigma attached to wearing a diamond on your chest. So, absolutely, people treat you differently. Absolutely, 100%.
Now, what about the police? Do the police harass you, and did you have any contact where they would mess with you?
Um, police, for the most part, police. If you're an educated cop, I mean, rookies are rookies, but if you're an educated cop, you know what an outlaw biker is. You should know because we're everywhere. So for the most part, regular cops don't bother you. Regular cops, I've never encountered a regular cop that bothered me because I had a cut on. Not me personally. They they stay away from you. It's the higher levels of law enforcement that you have to worry about. You don't have to worry about the local cop, the blue, we call them blue and whites in New York City, whatever. I don't know about other cities, but the regular beat cop, he don't care about you. Um, Again, it's the higher levels of cops of law enforcement that you have to worry about when you become a biker.
That's the Fed sitting in an SUV,
Mm.
cameras,
However that may be,
telescopic
yeah.
lenses.
Whoever that may be, it's the higher levels. You don't got to worry about the little guy in the corner, man. He ain't he knows you don't like him. He don't like you, and that's just the way that goes down, man. That's just the way that works.
Now, your time riding a motorcycle, did you see any accidents, or have you been involved with any accidents yourself?
I've been in 8 accidents. I've been
8.
down 8 times. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And punctured lung, broken rib, broken fingers, snapped shoulder. Yeah, I've been in 8. Have I ever witnessed? Yeah, of course. Brothers go down. Excuse me. Brothers go down all the time, man. You bury, but every springtime, um, that's kind of the worst time to be in a bike club because every springtime somebody gets killed. Every springtime without fail, as long as I've been in a club, you're burying somebody. You're burying somebody for whatever reason, man, or they're losing a limb. So accidents are as common as, you waking up, brushing your teeth, and pissing in the morning before you go to work.
So, can you walk me through a situation where you crashed?
Um, yeah, my last club, my first club. What did I buy? I bought a M109R Suzuki Boulevard. Now, here I am coming off a street bike, not knowing that riding a cruiser is completely different than riding a street bike. And I think they were taking off to go somewhere, and I got on my M109R. Not familiar with it at all. I rode it to a barbecue, but I was brand new on it. And I got on it to take off, and I'm thinking street bike, not cruiser. The riding position is different. The throttle is different. Everything is different. And I took off, and I hit a patch of gravel as I'm going, trying to lean, and you can't lean on a cruiser like on a street bike. And I lost control of it, and my face slammed against the concrete because I had a half helmet. Excuse me, I wear a half helmet. I don't wear a full face helmet. And my face slammed against the concrete. My tooth went through my bottom lip. My
Damn.
shoulder hit the ground and snapped, and the bike crashed on top of me, on top of my back, and I'm laying there. They came, ran over. They picked the bike up off me. My wife comes running over, and I'm trying to help them pick the bike up, and my arm is not responding. My brain is saying to my arm, be like your brain does, reach over and pick the bike up, but my arm isn't working with my brain. And At that moment, the president of the club said, "Nah, nigga, give me your keys." And he said to my wife, her name is Giselle G. He said, "G, get him to the hospital," because my arm wasn't responding at all, at all, at all, at all. So that was, I think that was the last time I had a major accident. So I snapped my shoulder, I broke my ribs, the tooth went through my bottom lip, a couple of stitches, in Connecticut.
So now, after that happens, are you kind of hesitant to get back on the bike? Are you nervous the next time you
Nah,
get on?
nah. You keep in mind that once an addict, always an addict. And even though I don't use, there's certain things that will never change. And one of them is my self-destructive behavior because I'm an addict, right? So I naturally I have a self-destructive nature just because that's who I'm as a person. The only difference is I control it now. So no, I don't give I could give two fudges. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. Let's go. Hop back on. Let's go. So nah, I never thought about it. Never thought about it.